Um, I feel compelled to make this video that is meant to be for all of my students, as far as me trying to put into words, why do we learn music? What is the point of learning an instrument? What is the point of music education, ideally? I think that the point of learning music is being able to apply skills that require a lot of different faculties, facilities of the human person to making art. We learn about math in order to understand how to calculate things. We learn business skills in order to have a job and make money so that we can live, because we need money to live. We just do. You need to pay for your car, you need to pay for your mortgage or your rent, you need to pay for your food, you need to pay for where you live. You need money these days in order to survive. Art is why we survive. Art, and an extension of that, love. Learning about love for one another, for other people, our neighbors, our families, and ourselves is part of why we want to survive. And along those lines, a way to learn about love is through art. Whether you're painting or sculpting or acting on a stage or playing an instrument. So when my students ask me over and over for any single performance that we do outside of class, is this required? To me, if you care about doing something that's outside of you, if you care about being part of a team or a family, to an extent, a performance group is a sort of a family. It's much more actually a team, because you're working together to make something happen, to put forth a performance that's bigger than you by yourself. If you're interested in that and you're learning an instrument and you want to apply the things that you've learned to that context, I would expect that you would want to do it every chance you get. I find that younger musicians regularly look for reasons not to do things if they don't have to. And so they put this thing on there that says, well, I have to do it because it's required. Okay. Is that the whole point of learning an instrument? Is because you enrolled in the class and it's now a required performance? Why isn't it a thing where you're learning to play an instrument, which not everybody can do? There's a lot of people out there that wish that they learned an instrument at some point, especially when they were younger, especially at a school that provides you instruments free of charge and sheet music and opportunities to go on trips to perform and see places and do things with other people that hopefully are your friends. And they regret not doing it for whatever reason. I wasn't in drumline when I was in high school, and I think about it all the time because I'm trying to make our drumline program happen now, and I really regret that I was not in drumline in high school. And I'm honest with myself about it. It was purely out of laziness. And I had no reason not to miss it. back then, and I wish that I didn't. Now, many years later, looking back at what I did and did not do in high school. But for me, if you're into that sort of camaraderie, if you're into this sort of thing where you are on this, participating in this team effort that is a part of something that's bigger than yourself, that's a part of this music program where we're still rebuilding and we're getting bigger every year, why wouldn't you want to take every single opportunity to perform that you can? Why wouldn't you? We always get nothing but compliments every time we perform. How come when I ask for a performance to be done during lunch, which I never ever do, that's a problem for so many people because it's not required? Why does it have to be required? Are you required to play video games at night? Nope, probably not. Are you required to lose yourself in looking at reel after reel after reel on Instagram or TikTok? Nope. It's easy to do that mindlessly and not even think about it, and it's something that you just do, and you lose yourself in the time that it takes to do it. And then you realize when you look at the clock that you've been doing it for 40 minutes. And I would think that after that 40 minutes, you would think to yourself, dang, that was kind of a waste of time. I'm racking my brain to try to figure out how to get young people to recognize how special it is to be in a situation where we are able to go and make music, to make art together, and to figure out how to get you to understand how amazing that is and how awesome that is. And that when 7 people out of 22 don't show up, that's like a third. That's like a third of the people didn't show up. And it wasn't because they couldn't. It was because they chose not to. And they let their bandmates down and they let me down. But honestly, you're also letting yourself down. I want you guys to be asking yourselves why you do the things you do. I am doing this job because I want to teach music to kids, and the people at this job have done a lot to help me grow the program. I want to show young people how to get better at their instruments and how to improve at being musicians and people in general, and to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves alone. But I also want you young musicians to be also asking yourselves why you do the things you do, why you spend the time you spend on the things that you do. And to be able to answer the question, like honestly ask the question, why didn't you show up to playing some fun holiday music, Halloween music on Halloween at lunch? You didn't show up just because it wasn't required? Is that really a good reason? Or are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of your classmates? Are you ashamed of all the things that we've done in only a few years at this school? I hope not. I'd be very surprised if you were ashamed of what you've done and what I've done, all of us together. So if you're not ashamed of that, then why wouldn't you show up every single chance you get to make music? We do things because we need to do them in order to survive. Sleep. Eat food, hopefully food that's actual food, that's nutritious. Get some exercise. Interact with each other because we need to be around people. We need to have community. But I would hope that you would also be willing to ask yourselves why you choose to do something or not do something. If I have to make every performance required in order for you to show up, that's fine. But the question I want you to answer for yourself is, why don't you just show up anyway? Why does it have to be required? Anyway, that's it.